If someone would have told me Ted Cruz would have had a podcast channel, I wouldn't have believed it 5 years ago. But most of these politicians do nowadays. Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Marco Rubio, even Bernie Sanders has a YouTube channel. And that's where I found this podcast, this interview with Elon Musk. Some of the topics that they covered were, the government waste, which he says that it's roughly about 80-20. There's 20% of actual legitimate waste. Things like, more software licenses than there is employees. Things like contracts that were supposed to be terminated and not getting cut off. And so the company would keep getting money because the contract payments weren't cut off. It's kind of
into it more deeply, and I found that apparently what happened is that he was laid off 5 years ago, and no one ever told him about it. But through some kind of glitch in the payroll department, he still gets a paycheck.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
Great. So,
like that scene again where they're like, how is that guy Milton still working here? And they said, well, he still keeps getting a paycheck. So if we stop his paycheck, then that solves that problem. He talked about magic computers, computers that print money. This is the sort of stuff that really took me for a ride. Obviously, all of these things that he's talking about, the American population is not going to have proof unless they're working at Doge and they actually see what he is actually talking about. We're not getting any legitimate evidence. We're getting reports put out saying this is what is happening. And do I believe it? Absolutely. Especially if you're somebody who knows people who work in government and you see the way that they operate. It is very outdated and antiquated just how they operate altogether.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
And like one of the things that you told me, you said if any company kept its books the way the federal government does, they'd arrest the officers and put them in jail.
Yes. And if it was a public company, it would be delisted immediately. It would fail its audit, and the officers of the company would be imprisoned.
You hear what he says, that people would be imprisoned for some of the tactics that these government officials have been doing. But no one will be arrested. No one will be held culpable for any of these actions. So it's kind of like a non-starter. We're hearing things that are egregious and wrong for any professional setting, but nothing will happen. I made clear in that video I did about Medicaid versus Medicare. I think so many Americans don't know the difference. Medicaid is a government program that is for people who need insurance that are not old senior citizens at retirement age. They're just regular citizens like you and I. What has happened though is people take advantage of those programs. So what they do is they bring their loved ones here, they get the medical care that they need on the taxpayer dollar with Medicaid, not Medicare. And that's why he brings up this whole conversation about entitlements. Entitlements are things that are given to people who are American citizens, not foreign people that come here and leech off the system.
That they're worried about is that Doge is going to turn off fraudulent payments of entitlements. Everything from Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, disability, Small Business Administration loans, turn them off to illegals. This is the crux of the matter.
Yep.
Okay. This is the thing that why they really hit my guts and want me to die.
And do you think that's billions, hundreds of billions? What do you think the scale is of that?
Billions.
I think across the country, it's well north of 100 billion, maybe 200 billion.
Absolutely.
By using entitlements fraud, the Democrats have been able to attract and retain vast numbers of illegal immigrants.
And I'm an immigrant. I came from a different country. This is a girl that voted Democrat. I didn't even vote for Trump in the first run. A lot of people think that right now, this is only Republicans speaking up saying, why are we mad at this? When you have seen it firsthand as a person that came from another country, how they treat foreign people over their own American citizens, then you will grasp the gravity of this situation, of how bad the fraud has actually gotten. And the people that need to fight back against this is because they have been brainwashed so badly, and I was one of them, to believe that cutting government excess and waste, cutting government, just slashing government and putting those things back to the states is wrong. It is not wrong. There's a certain way that we like to live here in Arizona that has been infiltrated by outsiders like the Californians that have moved here. It's like, go back to California, destroy California. We don't care what you do over there, because I see the conservatives as way more religious, more Christian, and, having some moral ethics. And I don't see Democrats like that. It took a while for me to get there.
The Democrats for government handouts and will vote overwhelmingly Democrat, as has been demonstrated in California. This is
It's an election strategy.
Yes.
It's power.
Yes. And it doesn't take much to turn the swing states blue. I mean, often a swing state might be won by 10, 20,000 votes.
Sure.
So if the Dems can bring in 200,000 illegals and over time get them legalized, not counting any cheating that takes place, because there is some cheating, but even without cheating, if you bring in illegals that are 10x the voter differential in a swing state, it will no longer be a swing state.
Right.
And
It swings to the opposite side. I've seen that happen firsthand here in Arizona. I stuff it down your throat that you should be giving these entitlements to people who have just come across America, because we have to give to people. No, there's hardworking Americans here that pay taxes, and they can't even take advantage of those opportunities when they need it. And you don't have to believe it. If you want to go give your money to other people as free handouts, do it. Go destroy California. Go destroy New York. We don't care. Just leave other states that don't want any of that alone, and don't move there because you can't afford to live in the state that you decided to destroy.